Hello, sexy souls. I'm just going to turn the music down. Welcome back to my channel. So I am doing this on the computer today just because I am a little short on time today. Um, I was not planning on going out. I was planning on resting today, as it is a full moon. And I also tried to record this. Well, I had planned to record it yesterday, and it just didn't happen. I was going through a weird thing. And I'm actually excited to talk about it now because if I had done it yesterday, it would have been a disaster. I wouldn't have been tuning into the energy at all. And now today, I feel even though I'm short on time, it's sort of basically I have Sagittarius in my second house, which is all about work, and we have a lot of Sagittarius energy in the sky. And um, Sagittarius is connected to Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about abundance and expansion. And Jupiter has just officially in sky astrology went into Aquarius. So the separation from the Earth and the so Capricornius is the Earth and the water, the the waters above and the waters below. So now we kind of have this shift in energy because when it was going retrograde, we had like a lot of that, you know, Capricorn energy sort of like keeping us in not really knowing where to go. And I like as a collective, it was kind of we were still kind of gathering information from Jupiter going retrograde, and now that it's back and it's going direct again, this is really really good. And Jupiter will be in Aquarius for a long time, so it's really a breath of fresh air. Let's just put it that way. And as well for Jupiter, I have the death card, so it's literally like the the ship the ship that we did not want to get on is kind of has wrecked. Okay, like so there is part of the thing that I'm hearing is with Jupiter we're getting sort of a blessing on resolving things. Things are going to be resolved. Okay, certain things that weren't working have sort of just are starting to slowly be pushed to the side. Okay, literally that's the way I see it. With that card is like the boat just being not being strong enough, pushing it to the side. So with that air element, the wind, communication as well, Jupiter is all about that. Meaning now people are going to be communicating maybe a little bit more about like what can we do about this. I feel like a real shift is happening with this fire element as well, the Sagittarius energy. It's really about people sort of coming together and fire starting to ignite and people starting to light up and talk and be passionate and not be afraid to speak out and do what they want to say and say what they want to do. Okay, so that's sort of the start of what I'm feeling. So yeah, and I've noticed that as well. Sagittarius being in my second house, I'm just noticing that my work, my structure, it's sort of crumbling a little bit, but I'm not in a bad way. I'm seeing it crumble because I'm like focusing on where I want to go next as a person. Okay, because my work and my structure isn't my life. Okay, I live more in the internal world. So if it's more so about my structure in here has changed. So I'm trying to adapt to how externally that knowledge and wisdom that I have in here is it's trying to kind of balance itself out in my external. So it's a little bit of a confusing time for me because of where it is in my house. That's just something I've noticed. But again, knowing where Sagittarius is might be because like with it being connected to abundance, this is a great time. Okay, it's a really good time, and as well, we will talk about Venus because Venus will be stationary. Um, I have not wrote the dates down. So Venus is not retrograde just yet. People will have said it is retrograde. It's not just yet in sky astrology. It's going to be stationary around the time of the full moon. Okay, and the full moon is in Orion. Um, Not yet. It's not in Gemini. Okay, so there's just a few things I forgot to mention that this is I usually talk about this at the start. Um, But yeah, we're going to get into it now. Everyone knows sort of the drill if you've watched these before. And if you have not watched these before, it's kind of too late to explain it now. So we will keep going on. So I want to talk, like, let's just get into what I'm seeing for everything first. Yeah, let's just go. So I'm using a different deck. I actually feel like I want to use this deck from now on, maybe. We'll see. I change my mind like all the time. Structure again is changing. So, for Mars, we have Explorer of Earth. Okay. Now, Mars is in Scorpio at the minute. Okay. And, with Mars being the energy that, kind of is very practical anyway, they they find it hard to get inspired. I'm not categorizing, but I'm just thinking on the energy of Aries, energy of like go go go. First to kind of get the ideas going and flowing. It's sort of saying with the Explorer of Earth that there's this new sort of energy that Mars is working with. It's really getting us inspired through really digging deep, like getting our hands into things that we wouldn't really do, or getting involved in conversations that we probably normally wouldn't get into. We might find ourselves questioning the narrative, okay? And with the deer here as well, um, it's sort of a time when the masculine energy will be pulled to sort of take things a little bit of a different direction, okay? Because as well, it's just a real strong connection with spirit guides in general this next couple of, because what I'm seeing with Orion is, because we have the magician here for Orion's really bringing in the communication with spirit, okay, and your spirit guides. Okay, so this is a really good couple of weeks to really work with connecting with your spirit guides, okay? Because I have the magician here, and the magician is connected to Mercury as well, which Mercury, I have the five of fire. Okay, someone's breathing out fire. This is that Sagittarius. Like Sagittarius just doesn't care. The energy is like I will show you what I want you to hear. It's kind of like I'll do it the way you want me to. But with Mercury in Sagittarius, I am really seeing that through communication is how miracles will happen. Okay, so really start talking to people, really communicate with people that you like. Okay, because yeah, I'm just thinking on Capricorn and the 10th house here. Connecting or no, yeah, connect if it's to do with it's really about shape shifting into a new version of you really strongly. You're going to notice that you're just acting different, maybe, or people are changing, because um, we do have this, which is where I have for Venus. Now, like I said, Venus is going to be going retrograde, and I will talk about that in a while. But we have the Awakening card, okay, and honestly, I feel like this is a really nice awakening card. It's people standing together, holding hands, uniting, being as one. And I think that that's what Venus retrograde is bringing us back into. It really bringing us back into our hearts and seeing like I need to be more compassionate, okay? And I think that that's why the Sagittarius energy is so impactful right now, is because it's teaching us to be gentle with ourselves, and also seeing the light in other people and seeing that their differences is just something for you to work with, okay? They're not trying to, go out of their way to be different. They just are different to you. They have a different opinion to you, and you don't need to take it to heart. It's time to wake up and stop judging people on where they're at in their life, okay? Just speak up and move on. you don't need to speak up and keep fighting and fighting at something that is not wanting to work with you. Okay, but I do honestly feel that there will be a lot of forgiving energy coming in. There might be people who are going through rough patches with relationships. I'm not really talking about that. It's more so about welcoming in the new energy that's coming, okay? Because Neptune's showing me that this energy, this sky fire energy, we have the 6 of fire here. This is really good energy. I honestly think that by next year it's going to shift even more. And people will just be gathering more in their groups. They're the people that get on with one another. It's like it's starting to kind of, people are knowing where to go. People are knowing what country is accepting them as they are, or what restaurant allows them in, and things like that. So it's basically, we're being sort of filtered out now. It's kind of what I'm kind of picking this up as, is there's like a filtration going on. It was happening there a couple of weeks ago, but now it's fully like people are being pulled into certain channels, certain streams of information through the Sagittarius energy coming in. It's really helping us create more abundance by being connected, by being united. Okay, now the abundance is like the abundance of love. This is what is really happening. So it's not about really. I know Venus is connected to wealth, but for me, it sort of feels more so that it's about connecting to the childlike self again. That part of us that we forgot through everything that's been going on. Okay, and the Sun card here as well. I have the Sun in the place of Venus as well. And the Sun is in Sagittarius. So this is all connected. And I do think that it's a time for dancing. It's a time for just, I'm hearing that strongly. You could end up going out and dancing and being drawn to someone. I don't know. I just feel like this Sagittarius season, everyone's going to want to get moving. They're going to want to get like dancing, or just this energy is like, okay, I need to do something about it. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff changing, especially with the people who were in a hermit mode or are prone to being in hermit mode. That's where they like to be. You don't like to be out of your comfort zone. You might notice that you're all of a sudden feeling like you need to sort of do something about life in general. Okay. Yeah. What else? I wanted to talk about Uranus. Okay, so Uranus is retrograde in Aries, 12 degrees. So it's 3. Yeah, I'll talk about that. I do have a little thing here, just of certain things I wrote down that are connected. It's a bit of a doodle. This book's really good, by the way, if anyone wants to get it. It's called it's like a cheap version of those those digital ones. This is actually paper and pen, but it wipes out, and it's called a rocket book. I got it on Amazon. It's literally like, I wouldn't use the tablet version, so this works perfect. You can literally just wipe it out after you're done writing on it. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. So we have, yeah, I think that this is right. So Uranus is it's retrograde at the minute, and Uranus has to do with sort of, it's very strange. That's how I feel about it. A very strange way of doing things. Okay, very bizarre. It's like someone who, I don't know. Uranus for me feels like you tell someone to, do something a certain way and they do the complete opposite. I don't know. It's just how I feel about Uranus sometimes. So this is kind of, with it being in Aries, I think it's really testing how we can start over, how we can create a new journey for ourselves. Okay, because it being in Aries retrograde, I just get the feeling that it's like it's wanting to go. Uranus is like, I want to go, but it doesn't know where to really go. So it's preparing us to sort of um, stop and wait before we act. Okay, on certain things that have to do with little quirks that we have, little things that we want to express ourselves more, and how we want to be more ourselves, like breaking ourselves out of the cage, like coming out of the closet, all these different things that are personal to us, but also as a collective. How can we move on? How can we get around this? How can we, see a different way? And at this Seven of Air, which is the Seven of Swords, it's about being sneaky. This card, but in tarot. But in this card, it's like, how can I sneak a different way to get through somewhere, or to get whatever it may be? And I think that is um, what we should really look at with Uranus at the minute. Just it's challenging us to think outside the box. Okay, you have to do this. You're told that this is the way you have to do that, or you can't get there. Uranus is kind of like, well, okay, I'm going to do this then. Something completely opposite to what you're being told. That's what it is. It's like we don't want you to tell us what to do. Funny, because that's what a lot of people are feeling right now. They're feeling the pressure of, stop telling me 1 minute, do this, put that on, take this medication, do this, do that. People are telling everybody everything to do, and it's like, I want to do me. I want to do me. Leave me alone. Okay, so this is a test of energy that's, I feel, is coming through with it. It's like, well, I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to do stuff behind your back because I have to. Okay, because you're forcing me to do things I don't want to do, so I'm going to have to do them in a roundabout way. And as a collective, this is happening in all different situations, not just the obvious, it's just as a collective, we don't like this energy of being told what to do. Okay. Sorry, my friend's texting me. I'm just double checking to make sure that she hasn't left yet. No. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. So, like I said with Mercury, we do have. I did pull a card for this as well, so we'll talk about that. Yeah, definitely. With the Five of Fire, it's a really, really good time to collaborate and work with the people. Yeah, because Mercury is 3 degrees, isn't it? Yeah, collaborative energy as well. So that's sort of the energy that's coming in with that Orion. Um, the way that I look at these full Earth, it's like a snapshot of energy, energy that was sort of coming in to work with. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, actually, so I'll just stop there. It's like the way that I see the energies coming in, it's for different parts of the collective. But anyway, moving on. I do think that this Five of Fire, it's really about, and again, the Magician here being with Orion, which is these two cards are connected. It's so, so important to be very observant of how people are talking as well. What's coming out of their mouth might be the thing that actually could transform everything for you. It could be something that's very triggering, or it's like something that you would be like, what? And it takes you a minute. Takes a minute for the fire to settle. Again, because Sagittarius energy is literally like this. It's like, like, I will destroy your beliefs in a couple of seconds. And that is a miracle. That's that miracle energy. That's that transformational sacrifice energy to develop and grow more. So Orion is really, it's like bringing in a lot of passion, okay? And for the sun, I have the Two of Fire, okay? Now this is a different kind of Two of Fire. It's like kind of hot. Okay, if this is Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about making a decision. Again, I think that that's why I'm connecting the Sun. So the Sun card was in place of Venus, okay? Venus going retrograde could cause people to, you know, feeling a little tempted to look elsewhere, not knowing why they're doing that. It could be that energy, okay? But as well, it's just like in general, the Sun is sort of, because the Sun is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius not really wanting to with um, go with the rules, go the direction that they're supposed to go, kind of going against the norm. Okay, the Sun is there, so the Sun is sort of testing us and basically saying, "You shall not pass." But you're like, "Well, I look for a new way. I will contact the fairies and ask them to help me out." There's this energy with the Sun. It's really interesting, actually. And I see a lot of um, fun elements coming into play. Also, with Mercury, is another thing that I want to say is really this whole awakening is to do with children. Okay, that's all what it is. It's to the core. That's what this is. Okay. And with the child of water, okay, what I miss seeing children being children. Okay, I'm seeing control. I'm seeing things I don't like. I'm missing the way that children used to be, and that's something that is my perspective. Okay, because there is I do see the side of like, yeah, well, kids have technology now, kids, they're changing, blah blah blah, but we need to realize what we're doing wrong, and I think that's why Venus is coming back into play here. Child of Water is about healing the inner child, okay, and also paying attention to what we need to protect, okay, and Pluto, I always connect Pluto with mermaids, and this is the guardian of water. Okay, so with this Venus going retrograde, sort of bringing us back to see what we need to do to help our children, how can we protect the children, etc., etc. Okay, but as well, Mercury, the transformational kind of energy is with Mars and the South Node, and yeah, obviously Pluto is connected to both of those because Mars is in the masculine energy, is in Scorpio, and so is the South Node. So that's the past karma. Okay, so those two energies for me, it really feels like, how can we stop? How can we get out of doing things just because we're told to do them? How can we get out of that? How can we see what's right for the children? How can we see all of that? That's what we need to really like put together. That's what I'm reading it as, okay? Because the Sun as well is about the children, okay? And that's great. This is really good energy, that the Sagittarius fire energy. It's like the Aries and the Leo came together and they're like, hey bitch, it's Sagittarius. Let's fuck shit up. Okay? So this is really, really good. I love this reading, the way it's coming through. But yeah, this is about protecting these little beings that have that pure Venus energy coming straight out of their being. Okay, so yeah. Now let me see. Okay, so I wanted to talk about Jupiter and Neptune, because they are both in Aquarius. So something I want to ask, like, what's on a spiritual level, what might we not? Okay. Yeah. On a spiritual level, you might get some strange thought or message. You might even hear something, and you might even hear there's just something from spirit, a message coming through that will be very it's a very good. And Ace of Swords is not always a great starting card, but it might come as like a surprise. Okay, could be like, what, um, or I don't know. If you're meditating, obviously you might see see something. Sorry, I have hiccups. I'm trying to like there we go. Can I get another one there, please? Sorry. It's showing it's reflecting a behavior. Yeah. Page of Swords. So your spirit guides are going to reflect something back to you. You're going to see or think or know something that you've been doing recently, and yeah, you're going to let go of it. Okay, because now that it is in Aquarius, we have the Death card here, so it definitely is a time for you. You're really going to be able to think for a second, and be like, wait, why have I been doing it that way? So an unexpected thing is coming through spirit. It'll be very, very straight to the point. It'll be very direct, and you'll know exactly what to do. And it's going to then get rid of the old and welcome in the new abundance energy. Okay. So we have Venus, which is going retrograde, and we have Mercury and Pluto and the Sun. We're going to look into the Sagittarius. Right. What? Okay, for Jupiter, or for Venus. Yeah. Oh my god, wait. I pulled the same thing. I was asking for a Venus. Same card. Literally, there's a lot of energy coming in to wake people up. I don't know where or why it's coming in. It's to do with things not sitting right with people. Things not feeling that this is human nature. So there's a that energy coming in. So this is a good thing. Now, the way it might be delivered, obviously, is like, ooh, not so good for some people. But this is a good thing, a very good thing. Okay, so that is going to loosen up a lot of the restriction energy that's being placed in our psyche. Okay, with Mercury. Yeah, see, Mercury is about the mind, and then Sagittarius energy is sort of like really, sort of can take you places, take you really just thinking very, not deep, sort of very expansive. Okay, so it might be a time when you're confused. Okay, with Mercury being in Sagittarius, you might be kind of confused as to like what you're supposed to think during this time. It might be a time where you're just reading things and it's out of really crazy shit that you're reading, and you're like, what? This makes no sense. Why are people talking? It's just like a really big testing of like that energy. Okay, we have for the Sun card, we have the gossiping. This is my gossiping card. Stay away from gossip, obviously. That is part of this as well. Okay, with this energy of people being a little bit more flirtatious or being a little bit different to the norm or trying out new things, people will start to gossip, obviously. Okay, now don't get involved in that. Don't go and be part of that energy. It might just be a lot more obvious around this time that there's a lot of gossiping going on, and it's just sort of the two of fire. Which do you want to gossip, and burn out quicker, or do you want to like, you know, be more composed. Right. Yeah, okay, so Pluto is definitely welcoming in us exploring and doing new and transformational things. Okay, so Pluto being in Sagittarius, it's really about getting ready now to get into the flow of sort of creating a new. Hold on. Sorry, my mother was knocking on the door, so I had to pause it. What was I talking about? Yeah, I was talking about Pluto. It's very interesting, actually, because I see this as someone's like a fisherman or someone standing there, and then this mermaid lady comes out of the water, and she's like, "Do you need some guidance?" So Pluto is really bringing in a lot of this kind of energy. Okay, the Six of Fire. Pluto is really assisting in the transformation of like getting you on a whole different like path, meeting loads of different types of people. So I think that that is what Pluto is sort of doing. Energetically, you just want to connect in with this energy of the Sagittarius and the water. Okay, the fire and the water, and sort of meditate on that, like focus on Pluto and get messages through that, because this is a very spiritual energy here as well. Because like I said again, the South Node is in Scorpio. Okay, so that's all connected. Yeah. So that is what the South Node. That's what the South Node is. We're walking away from old programs. Let's call that old emotional programs that affect us in here. Okay, we're moving away from that because it's just not. It's just not okay. That's collectively though. Now let me see. How can we? I want to look at the Moon, Orion, and Mercury and Uranus, and I want to ask, how can we work together to understand one another? Yeah, it's work with the people who think like you. Okay, work with the people who are passionate about what you're passionate about. Okay, so really choose your battles here. It's not a time to just kind of like. Sagittarius energy is sort of, it moves away from what it doesn't like. That's how I feel about it. Sagittarius energy burns in the direction it wants to go in, and also at the same time kind of can become quite chaotic. As an energy, meaning like it's not afraid to burn through or burn in whatever direction. It's like kind of the way that I see it is like, the Aries is like a small little flame. Leo is like, a nice. Leo is like that, the Six of Fire. Leo is like this, and then Sagittarius is like out of. It's a whole fucking forest fire. Okay, and I just feel that with that, it's sort of really be with the people that make you happy. Okay, because we do have the Two of Fire up here. Okay, and the sun is in Sagittarius, so it's like look for the people who are unique like you. Look for the people who you choose as your like family. Okay, that is because there's going to be a lot of abundance with that. Okay, so not only is the communication to do with, it's in general. It's just in general, but if you want to, really express yourself, it's the people that are like you. Okay, don't try and force someone to agree with what you want to them agree with. Okay, So yeah, how can we understand one another is just understand that they're on a they think they're on a different way of wanting to do things. Okay? They want to do something different. And again, it's not you're this doing this we're all doing the same thing here. We don't want to do it. Uranus is like we want to do it our own way. So it's find the people who want to do it the way you want to do it. If that makes sense. Okay. I just want to ask quickly about like with the Jupiter going forward, because now it's like in 0 degrees, so it's a nice time to ask. What is going to be resolved because of this energy of Jupiter going into Aquarius? What's this going to do? What's this going to help us with? Ooh. It's bringing the balance back into the Earth. Okay, bringing the balance back into the Earth. It's really letting us release the air and the Earth energies. Okay, like I talked about, because Capricorn is Earth and Aquarius is air. Okay, and the Justice card is also Libra. So that's the air. This is the okay. But when we read it like this from tarot, it's like we're finally balancing back out and being able to work on our abundance again. We had a lot of stuff going with happening abundance wise, like financially. So I think as well, because it's connected to technology as well, things might shift with the whole economics of the world. I don't want to get onto that, but yeah, so that's what Jupiter sort of, it's going to be there for a while. So whole of 2022, a good part of it anyway. Maybe the focus for 2022 is to rebuilding things up again. Because the King of Pentacles is about making sure that it's perfect. So something's being set up, but again, am I talking about agendas? Everything is an agenda. Okay, even God has an agenda. Does it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but something is being set up to restructure our lives, to rebuild. Now, am I talking about... I'm not talking about, like, what people might think I'm talking about. I'm just saying that as a collective, justice will come. Okay? That is what I'm saying. And it will be coming to those who are quite wealthy. Okay. So that is what I see as well as another part. And I think that's it. I think that's all I want to talk about for this one. I don't even know how long I was speaking. I think quite a while. Ooh. Fucking jingle bell. But yes, that is all I have. I hope you enjoyed this, and I don't know if I will have time to post it tonight. Shit. So this might be up tomorrow. But again, this is an energy update, so this is just energy to take what you want from it, see if it helps or sparks an idea in you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye.